I guess here it is. Here it is. So yeah, this whole I've been there's so many freaking tech issues I've been dealing with, like browser issues, can't transfer files, authentication. I mean, it's maddening to me, man. It's like I can't even transfer music files anymore between browsers. Like Facebook's at war with everybody, and it's just, you know, I'm going to be very blunt. These developers just need to stop what they're doing because it's not good, and it's
Well,
causing
yeah, they
huge
keep
conflicts
upgrading and changing everything, and
every
it's hard to keep
moment,
up.
man. And that's the thing is, I don't talk about what I've done in my past. It's pretty private, but I spent the majority of my past, working on modern code, in the quote unquote .com boom that was supposed to be free open source for people to connect all over the world, and that has been completely reversed and destroyed. And when people started getting wind of how to use code to own information and stuff, it became this huge like scam money making thing. And and the burden I have, it's not a good one, is I can see in reverse the code that's happening. I can look at a screen and know what level of database, what everything behind it. And there are young kids now that are like rogue to impress their 24-year-old social science managers who are trying to impress their 28-year-old managers. And it's like these people have not had an opportunity to grow and reflect and learn. And it's just like this rat race, to be the biggest asshole on the internet. And it's like, it's not good, man. It's not good at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, you
So,
can't get all caught up in that. You'll go crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly, man. And, that's the thing is like people are so caught up in the dependency of the internet. I'm like, does anybody does anybody actually really need the internet? I mean, it's just weird, man. So I don't know. It's very divisive and pretty silly. But the reality is you know people know there's war. People know that life is tough. People know that there's politics, and like, what answer are they really getting on the internet? I don't know. It's one of the things, man. I have two issues that I deal with. One is developers, and the other is Pentecostal preachers that I just can't let go of the lunacy of these things. So,
You're fading away.
oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Two
So,
things I heard.
Zach, can you hear my voice right now?
Yes.
So, talk to me, Teresa. What's happening with you?
Yeah, not a lot. I'm just enjoying retirement and trying to figure out like what to do with myself
Right.
because I kind of lost a lot of momentum. I'm just hanging.
Yep. And I think I understand that a, a bit, and it's similar over here. It's like this relentless fight to have to keep working and battle and shit. It's just like it's taking its toll, man. It's just like, man, there's got to be a break somewhere somehow, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, for me it's opposite. I have a lot of free time and I'm not sure how to direct my energies right now. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm doing some things. I got an eBay store I've had for about 10 years, but
Nice.
I've been like trying to level it up and grow it and scale it a little bit. And
Right.
I have a short-term rental property in North Carolina that I've been renting out on Airbnb and VRBO, and I've been enjoying that, but that's like not a full-time job. It's just
Right.
takes a few hours a week to communicate with people and
Right.
take care of some maintenance things. So I'm just I was doing this Miracles Tribe like membership thing with
Yeah, I
my
think I
friend
remember you
Carly.
mentioning that last time we talked.
Yeah, that sort of fell apart. We decided to go our separate ways,
Right.
and I'm just not sure what I want to focus on now because I really do want to be a positive influence and make a positive impact.
Right.
And I also would love to make some money doing that if I could, but
Right.
I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of I find I'm hearing the same things over and over from the same people, and
Yep.
there's no new insights
I
coming.
mean, and exactly, and it's just like, man, look, man, I'm a sappy lover. I like to be selfless and help, the ones I love the best I can. And if it doesn't have, that human connection, that that sharing of life, it doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And what I found out is that, you know, everybody's on their own path, and people just are not on that level. They're on the level where they are, and it just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't care about money, but I have to pay the bills too, and it's like that's also tough, man. I just don't, I don't get it. I don't understand why the material world and money is so important, and we can't even connect and collaborate as human beings to be on the same team. It's always this go go go, money money money.
Well, that's American culture,
Yeah,
capitalism. I mean, it's not like that everywhere. I mean, it's like that everywhere, but it's way worse here.
yeah. See, that's the thing. I only know this culture, so I generally don't have any experience other than this. So it's like this is the only thing I know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really invested in the rat race here.
It's wild, man. It's wild. It's just oh, the divisiveness, man. I go on for days and days and days. And the other thing is, I've learned so much and gone through so many phases in the life. I want to share this experience, but ultimately, what I see is people aren't they don't give a fuck.
No, they're not. If people aren't open to what I have found in my experience is if people don't ask me,
Right.
they're not open to hear what I have to say or,
Exactly.
receive anything. So,
Yeah.
I don't try to share anymore unless people really come to me first because it's just pearls before swine.
Yep. And I've had to learn that, like, I mean, I literally had to learn that. I had to learn that here in Boston. This town is crazy. It's like if somebody doesn't ask me, I'm not offering anything, man, because you know, all, from what I've learned this lifetime, the best thing I can do is listen and smile and be supportive and
Yep.
selfless.
Yeah.
And
And that's a
that's
lot.
the
That's a
best
lot by
thing.
itself.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people can't even do that.
It's harder than it sounds, but it takes a lot of work and self-checking to realize that that's the best thing that could possibly happen is just listen and have a positive posture and a nice tone and a smile. That might be the only moment in that person's life that could, affect them positively. Just that
Yeah.
alone. The moment I try to start talking about my experiences, it backfires every freaking time. Every time.
Do you not have any sort of community of people
Oh, Theresa,
who are
I don't want to
like-minded?
embellish on this, but man, this town is a rough town, and I'm literally 16 years later. I'm completely alone. I'm here for my kid. There is no
Are you in,
community
did you
here.
say you're in Boston?
I'm still in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah. This is a weird town, man. It's everybody's out for themselves, and
So
I
listen,
don't get
I
it.
live in like the most the the least I don't even know how to describe it. I live in the strangest place I can imagine. I would never have chosen that town to retire to. I'm only there because of my in-laws because they needed help and my husband and
Right.
I owned land, so we built a house there. But
Yeah.
I've been there 5 years now. Legit, I've found no one I can relate to at all. But
Dude. My
it's a MAGA land. I'm just surrounded by Trump, like just there's so much poverty and there's so much scarcity thinking and there's so much like I'll get mine and pull the ladder up and I'm not going to help you out and if you come on my
God.
property I'll shoot
God.
you and it's just very like low vibration
Dude, it
mindset.
sucks, man. It's just like I don't. I get it, but I don't. And it's
Well,
same as
it
what you
comes from
said.
generations of trauma. It comes from like decades and decades of ancestral trauma that have been passed down. There's been a lot of abuse. There's been physical abuse, sexual abuse. Like these people do not come from that are I'm surrounded by do not come from. They didn't have opportunities. Their people didn't have
Right,
opportunities.
right, right.
But
Exactly.
that being said, I realized I've been doing all of my socializing and all of my like connecting with people online. And,
Man, you just hit a huge point right there. I'm serious. A huge point. Huge point.
and it's nice, but it's not really sustainable. Like, um, I mean, I have lots of internet friends that I call friends, but they're not, if I need help with something, they're not going to be there. And
Right.
so I realized this year that I really have to stop like resisting where I am, because that's where I am. Like I chose to be there. No one forced me. And unless I'm going to pick up and move, I need to like make it work for me and find a
Right.
way to be happy there. And as soon as I made that decision, I started running across this woman who lives in the next town over, who was posting all this really cool like spiritual stuff.
Right.
And she she calls herself a minister of magic, and she opened a shop in this little town where she was offering like Reiki healing sessions and tarot card readings, and free food and free clothes for whoever needs it. And she, when
Which is
I finally
positive.
met
That's good
her in
intent. That's good
person,
intent, you know?
she said, I opened the most controversial, like I'm in this evangelical Bible Belt of the North area. She said, if I had opened a strip club, it would have been less controversial. And but she is doing things to create community. And she's not political at all. She's just trying to help people, whoever needs help with whatever she has, resources she has. And so I realized like I need to get more involved in that, because um, it's real easy to just stay in my little bubble all day and not go anywhere, not talk to anybody, and not deal with any crap. And there's no growth in that at all.
And so what you're saying is like, let me get close to the microphone. So, like very similar situation. So after a 25-year relationship, separated, and finally, for the last 2 years, it was the first time I was actually alone by myself on my own since my early 20s.
Uh-huh.
And the you know after that, I had to go through more challenges that were very difficult, and I was in isolation. I had no idea how deep my mind and trauma was for lots of things during that time. But at the same time, I kind of gave up, and I was like, you know what? There's nothing to fight for anymore. So I just laid on my couch and discovered DoorDash.
Uh-huh.
F DoorDash. I can't stand DoorDash, and I can't stop. So, but the thing was is that I've always been anything from Indiana West. I have friends and collaborators, music. We've never stopped collaborating and staying in touch. This isolation, although it's been very good for me, was destructive. So now there's only online connection, and all of my music connections are online. And I literally lost all inspiration. I got so tired of doing music online, latency issues. People don't pick up the phone. It got bad. It's very destructive now, and it got to the point where you know the only thing I want in this life is to share a precious moment, and that's it. And people can't even pick up the phone to make a call. It's just like, what has happened? I don't understand how somebody can want to do music if they can't pick up the phone and call and hear somebody's voice. And so I don't know. It just you know I'm done with the internet. And if and when I can enjoy campfire, chair, and acoustic guitar on the final sunset, I am so done with the internet. It's absolutely worthless and only causes more problems. There's nothing I've gotten from the internet other than my early days when I was young and working in San Francisco. Nothing positive has come from the internet other than a satiating of loneliness and a once in a while connection with people I went to high school with. And we already know how to get a hold of each other. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm rambling. Man, savoring the precious moments of connection. That's it. You know, it's. I'm gonna ramble a bit. I'm not interested in dating or sex or anything like that. I'm nothing without looking in the eyes of the one who's telling me the story about their life, and to share those moments. That's it. You know, that's
So
it.
you need
And
to find your
that's it.
people in
That's all I know.
Boston. Like, I mean, you need to get out and meet somebody that you can relate to there. And that's a big city. I would think it would not be that hard.
Well, I'm gonna. I don't want to be, Mr. Poo Poo negative here. I got 16 years of this, and I have a, I have a pretty decent reputation and musical career. Career meaning I don't make money, but I've played all over Boston.
Uh-huh.
I've met the majority of all musicians here, as best I know. And 16 years later, I have not met one who wants to collaborate.
Huh.
Everybody wants to do their own thing, do covers, which is fine. But everybody wants to be the swiftest and fastest and speediest and most innovative person. Once here in Boston, if you open up your heart and request to collaborate, they think there's something wrong and you're trying to take advantage of them.
Huh.
16 years later, I've only met one person in this town that I can talk to, like I can talk to you. I'm not. I'm serious. It's unbelievable, man. And yet, I can pick up the phone and call 50 people in California right now, who we can talk to each other and collaborate. It's just this is a
Well,
weird
maybe you
place to
shouldn't
live.
be there anymore then. How old is your kid?
Oh, my God, what a miracle she is, man. She's 17. What a precious miracle. She's in choir. She goes to school for voice. She's found her own self respect and stuff, and I'm here for her, and it's been worth everything. I wouldn't change anything to witness this miracle find self respect and ambition and boundaries and stuff. Like what a beautiful thing as a father to watch. It's just it's so precious, and I don't know. I'm speechless. I mean, I just
So
like
maybe you can have the best of both worlds for your mental health and just get out, regularly, go to California or go other places because that's been my coping strategy is I'm
yeah,
based in Pennsylvania,
right,
but every time my husband goes someplace on a work trip, I tag along. I'm in Washington D.C. right now just to get the hell out of our small town,
right,
And there's culture here and there's different kinds of people here and it's a whole different vibe.
right, right.
And I'm going on trip. I'm going to Asia with my mom in um
Wow, that's
in
awesome.
October, November. We're going to Japan and Tokyo on a cruise because that's what she wanted to do. And
Right,
I said I would go anywhere. I don't care if I've never been there before.
right.
And then that gives you something to look forward to and a way to like recharge.
Well, you're right on, and so that's all. I was literally prepping to. So let me put it this way: we have a great relationship, and she's like, "Dad, go get it. Don't worry about me. I got to handle my own destiny. If you don't handle yours, I'm gonna be pissed."
Uh-huh.
And and then
That's very mature.
it's huge for me to witness this, the growth and confidence of this beautiful young woman, and and then something happens. She's like, "Dad, stay here with me for another year. I finally figured some things out. Let's have a year together and share life together before I start applying to colleges."
Uh-huh.
No questions asked. I would be a fool not to honor that request. And so I have all this stuff on the West Coast and Midwest. I was prepping to do. When she said that to me, done. I am staying here. I'm gonna find a different place. Working on that right now. Just to hear her say that to me, it just melts me. And I'm like, no, nothing is more important than that. No music, no business, nothing. When she came to me of her own volition and said that to me, all confusion was gone,
Yeah, good.
gone. And it just it's a struggle. It's going to be hard because I'm on my own, and I've got to fight the good fight, and I don't have money. I don't live my life by money, so I have to do it again, in my 50s and start over. But
So how do you make your money if it's not from music?
um,
I
well,
mean, how do you survive?
I have some limited resources that have been a part of my life that are private, which I'm not going to discuss, and I volunteer and help people that are disabled, that can't make phone calls, can't do their bills, and that's pretty much it. All of
Mhm.
my side stuff is volunteering to help people who can't really help themselves, and I make
Mhm.
I make a few here and there, but that's it. I my life And I realized a long time ago that seeking money for me was always bad. Not seeking money and living, within my means of paying bills and stuff. I'm very good at being poor,
But
and I'm okay with it.
do you have a judgment about money, like that you see it as a negative thing?
No, I don't see money as a negative. I think it's a positive because it's something that it's fair trade. It's like
Yeah.
it's a median between people, like, and the way in which people handle money or trade money tells a lot about that person. So I don't find it as a negative. I mean, there's only so many ways you can, try to stabilize a chaotic society, and I don't think money's bad. Um,
Okay.
I think it's a good constant. Um, and for me, I don't I don't live in the material world. I don't desire riches, and I figured out that my life is much better when I'm not chasing money. Period.
Yeah.
And it's worked out
Well,
so much better for me.
it's a means to an end. It shouldn't be an end in and of itself
Right,
because,
right,
yeah, it's a
right,
tool.
right.
But are you friends on Facebook with Scott? Shit, what's his last name? I just talked to him last week. He lives in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Oh, why can't I think of his last name? He's also a musician. He teaches music to kids.
Why don't I know
And
that name?
he also had this like spiritual awakening, and he's he's just the most like positive guy you could ever. I mean, he has his own personal struggles and things too, but
I think
he's,
we've crossed paths and connected. I just can't picture it right now. My memory doesn't work like it used to.
yeah. One second, I'll tell you, because if you're not already friends on Facebook, I would encourage you to connect.
I think
Um,
we've crossed paths, but again, I don't know.
Scott Lindbergh.
Yeah, I think we've crossed paths, but definitely, um, if you're saying I should connect with the dude, then I'll connect with the dude.
I mean, he just posts really uplifting things every single day. I never get tired of reading his stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I did want to mention something, but I don't know, how deep I want to go with it. It's the whole awakening stuff for me. It never stopped, and it got deeper and more wild and more wild. And the whole time I was talking about stuff, I didn't realize that people had no clue what I was talking about. And I'm like, oh, we're vibing, and it was a different experience for me, man. So along the way, so many phases and so many things happen. And let me put it this way: with my experience, which is not belief, it's there. It has nothing to do with that. I finally came up with an analogy to discuss, what I've learned about the actual experience of awakening and all this stuff. So, for me, awakening, the actual like Kundalini awakening, whatever, was the first quarter of a 4-quarter game. Enlightenment was the second quarter of a 4-quarter game. There still was the second half in a 12-game season. So
Okay.
that's what I went through, and nobody else around me was going through it. And you know, it's a very difficult thing for me to. I don't talk about it. It doesn't do any good. It only invokes lunacy and you know negative things. But there's a reality that was open to me in my final phase that has never stopped being so mind blowing, and it's just unreal. And people don't know or aren't aware that there can be different levels of perception. It's not all the same thing, and I just
Oh, I think if you have one story of someone's experience, you have one story. Like I
right,
don't think there's
right.
any cookie cutter like same experience for everybody.
Yeah, and you mentioned that before, and I didn't quite understand it, but now I get it. It's like it's wild, man, and
And I also see some people have uh different they have experiences in different orders. So some people undo all their human conditioning and let go of all their stories and beliefs, and then at the very end awaken. But other people have the
oh, that's
awakening first,
right.
and then they have to do all the deconditioning and deal with the healing and the trauma of their,
Yeah, that's right.
energetic like somatic healing and stuff that's
Right.
held at a cellular level. And yeah, and then there's different, or some people do some and then the other. There's all these different orders of how it happens for people, it seems
Right.
like.
You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I just you know, one of the hardest things I've had to come to terms with is that in any business, any spiritual community, watching people take advantage of their knowledge to you know, take advantage of somebody's weakness. I just saw too much, man. Like each one of these communities was, well, you know, hey, good on you on capitalism, man, but
Yeah, if people are still walking around with egos, then weird shit still happens.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, and people don't realize that they're still being taken advantage of. And I guess everybody's got to learn their own way. I just don't vibe with that, you know, evolutionary concept of, you know, take advantage of the weak ones. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And
Yeah, I don't know that the intention is to take advantage. I
right,
think it's
right,
just something that human nature, like it just happens because if
yeah,
people don't heal all their own shit first, then, it doesn't matter how enlightened they are or how like they can have all kinds of CDs and special
yeah,
like,
yeah.
gifts, but if they don't take care of their own personal shit, then weird stuff still happens. I don't know if I talked to you before about the Tat Foundation.
I think I remember something, but honestly, it just
There was this guy named Richard Rose. He's passed now, but he lived in West Virginia and he had this spiritual awakening. And he has a quote that says, "If you're an asshole before you awaken, you're going to be an asshole after you awaken." Like awakening doesn't make you a better person. It just
what a great quote, actually.
yeah, it just creates clarity where there wasn't clarity before, but your character doesn't change.
Right, you're still that person.
Yeah,
And that's the thing is like, even though I went through all this shit, I didn't realize how much work I had to do in my mind
yeah,
to check myself after all these phases of awakening, enlightenment, all this bullshit. I never actually did the hard work in my mind to break down, you know, divisiveness, to break down negativity,
yeah,
to really check myself. And it's like, damn, it is hard work to really
yeah.
get in there, man, and
Well, after
realize,
you'd been having the same thought for 50 years, it's hard to shift it to something different.
right,
Yeah.
right. And one of the best things that's happened to me is I met some people here in Boston that, you know, helped me to check myself and actually open my mind. And now I can see things differently. It's like music is more beautiful now than ever. You
Mm,
know, there's so much beauty out there that I wasn't able to see. So,
that's great.
all right, I think we're. I just got a notice here. We're running out of time. So,
Okay.
great to talk to you, man. I was gonna tell a bad joke, but I'm not gonna do it right now. And I always, man, you always give me a dose of wisdom and a gut check to look at it from, you know, from a different angle. And it's always good for me to hear what you say, because sometimes I'm thinking about something and I'm not sure of, and then I hear you say it. It's like, that's right. That's what it is. So
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to chat anytime you want. I'm, pretty
yeah, yeah.
flexible.
And before we go, well, I'll talk to you later. But my sister, I'm helping her out with some stuff, and we got some fun stuff going on, like skits and fun stuff and singing and all sorts of stuff. But I mean, just to talk and connect is everything. So you know, definitely would like to keep in contact and keep talking. So
Cool. Yeah, glad to do it. It's nice chatting with you too. I think about you often.
all right, my sister. Much love to you, and I can't wait till the next time.
Okie doke. Take care.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.